Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Friday the 13th of August comes to you from London. And we see quite a lot of red on the screen in the energy mix, so we'll come back and look at that in a minute. But looking at equity markets, we see a lot of green, so equities have been rising, but we're seeing commodities falling. The dollar actually holding its strength at the moment, just testing that resistance level, and we're waiting for this high back in March to break at the moment, which means the euro is looking weaker against the dollar, just struggling to get back through the cloud there and coming close to making new lows there as well. Sterling sitting just below 138, so bearish against that stronger dollar, and against the euro we've fallen back to 117.50, so we are seeing some weakness in sterling at the moment. Bitcoin sitting at $46,000, still holding its strength just and coming back through the cloud quite convincingly on the daily chart. So looking at equities, still edging higher, so bullish in all three time frames. We're seeing the futures very slightly up today, but that's indicating a flat opening. The VIX volatility is pretty low. We're starting to see levels that we saw a month or so ago, so looking pretty good there. The FTSE future is up 0.3%, and the DAX in Germany up by a similar amount, so European markets edging higher. We saw Japan was up very slightly, Hong Kong down. Remember, this is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute charts, so the long-term, medium-term, and short-term view of the market. Indian market up 1%, continuing to surge, big targets there, and the Aussie market up 0.5%. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute, but looking at commodities, we see coffee little change, sugar is actually up, and wheat and corn are slightly down, but still looking very bullish on the long-term charts. Gold recovering, sitting at 1756, back into short-term bullish. Did seem to find that support level, need to get back above the clouds. Silver was hit very heavily at the start of the week, last week, and so we're just seeing really that bearishness still playing out, looking more and more like a flag pattern rather than a pennant. US 10-year yield sitting at 1.34%, so just holding there steady. Looking at the energy mix now, we've got Brent Crude coming back this morning, so the real fear here is the lower low. That's the lower high. If we move through that level, the lower low, so inherent weakness just starting to show. We do still have upside targets, but we just need to watch this cloud. If we go below that level of, say, 67, that would be bearish for crude oil. And we are in a seasonally weak time of year as well. US nat gas has fallen back quite significantly. We see the trend down there, back below the $4 mark, and these 1 minute targets are really showing up. Coal holding the 100 level, and again, keep an eye on your OTC pricing here for clearer targets. Emissions down 1%, so we did bounce on the cloud here, so we are still just bullish, bouncing on the cloud, but a risk that we will break through the cloud. Below 55 would not be good on the short term, and of course below 50 on that long term level would be bad as well. Looking at the UK emissions chart, similar picture of course, but still holding bullish on the short term, and not much of a daily picture yet. Of course, it's a fairly new contract. NBP is down this morning, down 0.8%, and TTF down 1.6%. Keep an eye on those 1 minute targets again on your OTC data. Looking at the seasonal, we're also just seeing a little bit of resurgence, but the trend is pretty clearly up here. German power, last of all, down this morning, but still looking very strong on the trend there. Have a look at our power report out this week, and we look at Nordic power. It's had a very good couple of weeks, pulling back this morning, both on the quarterly and the CAL, so that's quite key. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. Until Monday, happy charting. See you then.